Hello, Peter po again, your Pinoy accountant. So in this video, pag-usapan natin yung invoicing requirements na kailangan yung sundin. So yung commonly na tinatanong talaga, by the way, this is applicable for non-VAT lang ha. So yung tinatanong talaga is, kailan ba tayo kailangan, when do we need to issue an invoice? Yan yung madalas na tanong. So sinagot na yan ng BIR through RR number 7-2024. So yung nakasaad dito, first, number one, merchandise or services valued at 500 pesos or more, yung price niya, 500 pesos or more, kailangan nyo mag-issue ng invoice. Second is, buyer requires you to issue. For example, nag-request si buyer nyo, nahingi naman ng invoice or ng receipt, so you have to issue invoice regardless of the amount. Kahit 50 pesos lang yung product nyo na nabili niya and nag-request si buyer, pahingi ng invoice. So you need to issue an invoice. So third is the aggregate sale at the end of the day of the transactions falling below 500. So ano bang gagawin natin yung mga hindi natin na-issuehan ng invoice, yung mga below 500 pesos, at the end of the day, isa-summarize natin sila or yung total nila, isang invoice lang yung issue natin for all those transactions falling below 500 pesos. So on your screen, this is an example of non-VAT invoice. So I'm sure na you already know na wala nang, yung official receipt, mapa-service man or products yung binebenta ninyo, invoice na yung gagamitan natin. So hindi na official receipt. So ito yung example natin for non-VAT na sales invoice. So yung tanong dito is, ano ba yung kailangan natin fill outan dito pag nag-issue tayo ng invoice? So nakalagay dito, di ba, masyadong madami, registered name, TIN, business address, date, yung mga PWD ID numbers, senior, PWD signature. So, yung importante lang dito, pag non-VAT kayo, yung kailangan nyo lang ilagay dito actually is the date and yung registered name and the date. And if ever nag-avail sila ng mga senior, mga discounts, kailangan niya yung kanyang ID number and yung signature nung nag-a-avail ng special discounts. So, yun lang ang kailangan natin ng mga details, and of course yung ano pala, yung ano ba yung item na nabenta ninyo, and if service naman, ano yung nature ng service ninyo. For example, you are doing mga virtual assistant na work, so yun yung ilalagay nyo dyan, mga bookkeeping, or if items naman, ano yung binibenta ninyo. It could be mga t-shirt, kung mga, for example, yung example natin today is cafe, so mga cake, di ba, mga coffee, so yan yung ilalagay nyo dito sa item description. And yung quantity naman is ilan yung nabenta nyo. But in the case of pag-service kasi, wala namang quantity yon. So, you can leave it blank lang. And the unit price, and for example, coffee, 100 pesos yung benta nyo per cup. So, yan yung ilalagay nyo dyan. And the total amount, of course, you multiply lang yung quantity and unit price to get the total amount. But in the case sa service naman, pwedeng yung example na to sa service is bookkeeping services for example, lagay nyo lang for the period or for the week of ganun lang yung ilalagay nyo yung time frame for the month of ganon. So, lalagay nyo yung amount. So, yun yung example natin. So, ah mag-sample pa tayo. For example, yung transactions ng isang cafe naman. So, tingnan natin. So, ito, for example, yung Pinoy Accountant Cafe natin, magde-daily sales summary tayo so that may invoice na natin yung mga transactions na wala pang invoice. So, for example, ito yung daily sales summary natin. Tingnan ninyo. For example, nakabenta kayo ng coffee, yung Americano, 25 pieces. Yung unit price niya is 100. So, yung total niyan is 2,500. So, we also have ito mga ice mocha, cappuccino, green tea, di ba? Iba-ibang klase yung mga tea ng isang cafe. And of course, cafe, may cake, may mga dessert. So, chocolate slice, magkano yon? So, nakalagay dyan, naka-indicate naman dyan is 80 pesos yung chocolate slice. And yung chocolate na whole naman is 600 pesos. And of course, may mga sandwich din kasi sa mga cafe, di ba? So, example natin, may tuna, may binibenta tayo na tuna sandwich, and of course, yung favorite natin na corned beef sandwich, di ba? So, yan. So, ito, for example, yung total sales nung January 15, ito yon nakasummary na, yung total natin is 19,200 pesos yung benta natin for January 15. So, i-check natin kung ano ba yung mga na-invoice natin. So, dapat i-summary din ninyo yung na-invoice ninyo for that day. Because yung sa, according to the RR nga, yung binasa natin kanina, dapat yung mga transactions falling below 500 or yung mga hindi natin na-invoicean, dapat at the end of the day, i-invoice natin yung mga transactions na yon. So, ito, for example, ito yung mga na-invoicean natin. Si Tom, bumili siya ng cake na whole. For example, ito yung selling price natin, 1,200. So, dalawang whole cake yung nabili niya, di ba? So, ito, si Jean din, bumili ng whole cake, 3,000. Shaira, isang whole cake, 600, di ba? Si John, bumili din ng dalawang whole cake, 1,200. And may isang company na bumili sa atin, One Piece Company. It could be, nagkumain sila doon sa ating cafe and humingi sila ng invoice. So, yung binili nila, coffee and sandwich, and yung amount niya is 1,350. So, yung total na invoicean natin for that day is 7,350. So, yung total nito yung mga na-invoicean natin mula kay Tom hanggang dun kay One Piece Company. So, yung tanong is, yung hindi natin na-invoicean, so, ayan, ima-minus lang natin yung total sales less yung mga na-issued na invoices na 7,350. So, yung hindi pa natin na-invoicean is the 11,850 pesos. So, anong gagawin natin doon? According doon sa binasa ulit natin is aggregate lang or yung total nito, isang invoice lang yung i-issue natin. So, it's very convenient din sa ating part, di ba? Especially if madami tayong binebenta na products na tagwa 100 pesos, di ba? Tag 50 pesos. So, hindi nyo na kailangan isa-isahin yung pag-invoice nun. So, in our example, ito, mag-invoice tayo dito sa balance na wala pang invoice. So, ito, 11,850. So, yung gagawin natin dito, so yung ilalagay natin sa registered name, for example, aggregate kasi yon iba-ibang mga customers yung bumili na sa atin on that day. So, yung ilalagay natin dito is just various customers. So, yung date, that was January 15, 2025. And then, of course, yung TIN, wala naman tayong details ng kanilang TIN, ng business address, and halo-halo din yon. So, we can leave it blank na lang. Leave it as it is. Ayan. So, sa item description naman natin, again, various yun. Iba-iba yung binili nila. So, we can just put it here, various coffee, cake, and sandwich. Yan. And yung quantity niya, pwede halo-halo din kasi. So, yung best way talaga dito, kung gusto nyo ng hindi na kayo masyadong sumakit yung ulo nyo, di ba? Iisa-isahin nyo pa yung coffee, cake, sandwich. Pwedeng sa, ano lang, total amount na lang yung ilagay natin for that invoice, for the aggregate transactions of the day. So, in our example, yung hindi pa natin na-invoicean is 11,850. So, ito yung ilalagay natin sa ating invoice. 11,850. Ayan, 11,850. So, yung total sales natin, ayan, 11,850. Wala tayong binigay na discount, wala ding withholding tax. So, it's very rare lang in the case of mga coffee shop na may mag-withhold dun sa binili nila, di ba? For example, Starbucks, yung bibili ka doon, tapos sabihin mo, boy, kailangan ko mag-withholding tax. So, very rare lang yon. It could happen, maybe yung bibili sa inyo is the bilang dun sa top withholding agents. So, kailangan talaga nila mag-withhold sa kanilang payments to your cafe. Ayan. So, ito, total amount due is 11,850 and signature ng cashier or authorized representative. And that's it. You have your first, anong tawag dito, yung invoice. Yan, nakagawa niya kayo ng invoice nyo for that day. Yan. So, for example, mag-sample pa tayo ng isa. For example naman, ito si Tom. kailangan kasi natin siya issue ng invoice because yung transaction niya is more than 500 pesos. But in mostly, yung iba din, kahit more than 500 pesos, kung hindi naman humihingi yung customer ng invoice, hindi sila, I mean, hindi nila binibigay or hindi sila nag-issue ng invoice. Yung ginagawa nila is at the end of the day, ito yung ginagawa nila, sinasummarize nila yung mga total sales nila and how much yung na-invoicean nila. So yung balance na hindi pa nila na-invoicean, yun yung i-invoicean nila. But in our example, ito, very compliant tayo sa revenue regulation ng BIR na pag more than 500 pesos yung transaction, kailangan niya talaga mag-issue ng invoice. So ito for example, si Tom humingi ng invoice for the cake. So mag-sample ulit tayo. Ayan. Balik tayo sa invoice natin. Ito for example, si Tom naman. Registered name, si Tom. Ayan. So depende sa customer nyo if magbibigay siya ng kanilang full name, but most of the time hindi naman nila binibigay yung full name kahit yung tin nila, 'di ba? So you can leave it blank. For example, Tom lang yung binigay niya, lagay nyo lang dyan is Tom yung name, tin, blank lang ninyo, blank yun, business address, wala din siyang binigay, and hindi din siya nag-avail ng discounts. So, could be blank nyo lang yan. And of course, the date pala, wag nyo kalimutan. That is January 15, 2025. And yung binili niya, whole cake. Diba? Whole cake. Dalawang cake yung binili niya. 600 pesos yung unit price. So, yung total amount niya. Ayan. 1,2. Diba? So, yung total sales natin, yung invoice, I mean, i-issue natin kay Tom, total sales niya is 1,200. Walang discount. Again, walang withholding. So, total amount due is 1,200. And then you have to sign as the cashier or the authorized representative of the cafe. So, that's it. Very, madali lang ba yung pag-issue ng invoice. So, I hope na you have learned something, di ba? Kung paano yung mag-issue ng invoice, especially dun sa mga non-VAT natin na mga businesses na madaming transactions, yung tag 50 pesos lang, 100 pesos. And this is very useful na isang invoice lang yung issue nyo per day. So next natin is, doon naman tayo sa cash receipt book, cash receipts journal, for example. So paano ba i-record yun? In our case, yung binili natin is 4 columns. So usually ito yung mga ilalagay natin sa columns is yung mga related accounts na kailangan ng entries, 'di ba? So may nakalagay dito debit, 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 credit. So sa accounting term 'yan na yung mga each account title kasi may tinatawag tayong normal balance nila. So for every debit dapat may credit tayo. So balance 'yan. Kung may dinebit tayo na 1,000, may credit tayo na 1,000. Yan yung tinatawag natin na double entry system. So, debit and credit. So, pwedeng later on, we can discuss more in depth about the debits and the credits. But usually, ito lang yung sa cash receipts natin na mga account titles affected by the transaction. So, cash, i-debit natin yung cash, diba? Pag nakatanggap tayo ng cash. And sales discount, ito yung ima-minus naman dun sa ating sales. So, lilit yung ating cash, diba? So, in other cases, withholding tax, especially if you are sellers, Lazada, Shopee, TikTok, ayan, nire-require na yung mga online selling platforms na mag-withhold ng sa kanilang gross remittance, yung 1% of 1/2 total gross remittance. So, dito nyo ilalagay yan sa withholding tax. And last but not the least, of course, i-credit nyo is yung sales revenue nyo or yung kita, I mean yung sales nyo for that day. So, ayan, may example tayong isa. So, date is yung January 15. And then, yung invoice natin is 01. Ito yung ginawa natin kanina. Yung customer doon is various customers. And yung cash, check ulit natin magkano yung cash. So, ito, yung cash natin is 11,850 because wala din yung kasi tayong discounts or withholding tax. So, yung cash na tanggap is 11,850. And again, for every debit, dapat may i-credit tayo. So in this case, 11,850 yung ating cash and yung sales revenue natin, again, is 11,850. So wala tayong entry for the sales discount and the withholding tax because sa transaction natin, wala namang withhold na tax and hindi din tayo nagbigay ng discount. So ito, mag-example pa tayo. Yung ating invoice 2. Again, January 15 pa din. So number 2, si Tom. Diba? Pwede nyo lagyan dyan yung particulars. For example, whole cakes. Ayan. So whole cakes binili niya. 2 pieces. So again, magkano ba yun? Check nyo yung invoice nyo. So sa lahat ng in-invoice din nyo, yung mapupunta yan doon sa inyong cash receipts journal or cash receipts book. So ito, sales invoice number 2, si Tom. And yung natanggap natin is 1,200. And again, wala tayong discounts, wala tayong withholding. So in case lang may nakalagay dyan, may nag-discount, for example, senior siya. Diba? Senior. Ayan, nag-discount tayo ng 240. So, 960 lang yung natanggap natin na cash. So, yung ilalagay natin yan dito sa cash receipt book. So, yung cash natin natanggap is 960. 960. And yung sales discount natin, i-check nyo, 240. Yan yung senior discount. Ayan, withholding, wala, 0. And yung sales revenue natin, ayan, that is the 1,200. Ayan, so ito yung example, basic example ng how to record your transaction dun sa cash receipts books nyo or journals. So kung ano yung nakalagay dun sa sales invoice nyo, ilalagay nyo dito, isa-summarize nyo. So ito yung example natin. Si Tom, nakatanggap tayo ng cash 960 and discount 240 kung i-add niyo yan. That would give us 1,200 yung dinebit natin. And yung credit natin, yung sales revenue natin is 1,200. So, balance siya, equal lang yung debit natin. And yung credit, so ibig sabihin, tama yung ating entries dito for our cash receipts journal. So, yun, at the end of the month, actually, pwede nyo i-total to. And for the quarter, pwede din i-total ninyo. So that may figures na kayong ilalagay doon sa inyong for example, percentage tax ninyo, dito nyo kukunin yon. Or if 8% kayo, yung net sales ninyo, makukuha nyo din dito. That is the sales ninyo less the sales discount. So, yun. Madami pa tayong dapat pag-usapan but I think baka ano kayo information overload. So I'll end this video na lang and if may mga tanong kayo, just comment down below and I'll do my best to answer your question. And of course, don't forget to like and of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name is Peter again, your Pinoy accountant.